time for a trip to the property. You guys ready? A little bit drizzly, but not supposed to rain very hard today, but we need to keep getting out there. And we are improving our organization skills. We've got a couple of tubs in the back of the truck where it'll be a lot faster for us to load and unload and keep more organized like that. So let's get out there. 1 second. All right. Here's me being a little more organized with my chainsaw stuff and make it easier to come and go and be more efficient. All right, so what I'm thinking about today is being safe. The last time we were out here, I was working too fast, maybe we worked too long, and a few things were pretty unsafe. One of them was I was doing a cut on a small tree. I can just show you. I was doing this, and then I needed to do something with this hand, and I just let the saw drift like this. And it cut a rip in my chaps, just barely. It didn't even pull enough of the fibers to stop the saw, fortunately, so I didn't have to go through doing all that. But that was a safety incident. Almost having a tree branch fall on my head was the other big safety incident. And then of course we had the theft of the previous chainsaw. So, you know, just kind of a reminder to slow down, think, be careful. So today we're going to try to be effective, safe, all that. We're standing in an area where the yurt site is behind us, and we're continuing to kind of clear out trees. And I see this spot that we're standing in as I'm going to make kind of a landing. I'm running out of space to drag those big logs that maybe we'll mill for lumber someday. So I'm going to use this space for some more of that if we generate more. I might start making piles of, say, 8-foot logs that are maybe 6 inches in diameter. I might not keep cutting stuff for firewood because we would end up with 10 years of firewood before we know it. So I might leave them in longer lengths and leave options of posts, or I'm interested in eventually trying to do mushrooms. I've seen cool videos where people take 8-foot logs and you can order these mushroom plugs where you basically drill a hole in them and stick a plug of mushroom or a fungi, forget what they're called. Yeah, you inoculate them, and then those logs in a few years could start sprouting edible mushrooms. So, nutritious mushrooms, not the other kind. Yeah, so we're just gonna have a work day where I'm trying to be effective, but also trying to be safe. Any thoughts, Tina?
It's raining today, so we'll see how long we last. We brought some hot tea to warm us up later.
Oh, I also brought my shotgun out here. Seems like a good chance to teach the kids some gun safety, and it probably won't hurt for people around the neighborhood to hear boom boom a few times. And that's it. All right, let's work. Okay, I thought I was ready to be up and running, but I was not. When I turned on the saw this morning, just idling, the chain wanted to spin, and I'm still a novice, so I called my friend Steven that runs the chainsaw shop and we bought the saw from, and he immediately asked if I'd got into some string in my chaps or something like that, and I said yeah. He said I need to get down to the sprocket and get all that string out, and I did not realize when that happened that the saw had pulled that much string in. So I'm in here taking this off. Now I'll put it back together and then I'll get started. Thank you, Steven. All right, so that's garbage. This goes back on. moved a lot of logs, carried a lot of brush.
Yeah. Yay. We're ready for a snack break.
What time is it, kids?
Snack time!
Snacks. Whew, we've been working hard. I'm sweaty. Carrying
And
heavy
now
logs.
you get hot tea.
Ooh, hot tea is part of the snack.
Yeah.
Nice.
Obligatory 20-minute snack break every 20 minutes.
Living the dream, working and snacking.
Snacks.
Where's this tea? No, this is water.
Where's my dinosaur? I almost did mine.
Let me talk about what we've done and kind of take you guys for a walk, kind of where we are. So, let me start the tour by walking down onto the road. So here's the access road. Going that way a 1/4 mile goes to the main road and out of here. Now I'm going to turn you around 180 degrees. So the very end of the access road is the existing home site, which you've seen us load with junk. And there's still plenty of garbage inside the house that we'll need to address, but Tina and I kind of made a call early on that getting ready to live in a yurt and kind of have a clean blank slate is better. That house is full of mold and gross stuff that we just can't put the kids in there until we really know it's spick and span. So we're starting with a blank slate with the yurt. So I'm walking down the road. I'll turn the camera again. So we're looking out there at where the yurt will be, and then you can see the shop there. Today we've been working and I made that pile of logs. The main thing I'm finding is, you know, every tree I cut down, we've got to do something with it. So I'm trying to be tidy and organized, and I'm going to drag big logs alongside there too. I cut some stumps real low to the ground so that I could maneuver with the tractor and logs in there better. Then I'm still walking along the access road, see a pile of brush, see a pile of what could become firewood. Okay, now here's, you know, the back half of the circle drive that would go towards the yurt goes right through there. So we're gonna get that cut in soon. And then let's just walk in there, but I'll turn the camera one more time. You can see that's where we would drive in, and we would turn over there, drive around to the yurt, and then we would leave this way. Okay, so coming this direction, we'll still planning on taking more trees out here. I think I mentioned it before that we want this area to feel more like a yard than a forest, kind of like at the place we're renting. We love that big yard field area where we have the chickens, have the bunnies. We love that. It's nice and safe. You can see the kids, you can see the animals, you can grow grass and stuff. So that's what we have in mind close to this area. So I've caught some logs here that I'm going to drag out and get this area completely cleared, ready for excavator operator to come start cutting in the road. And those stumps will come out. We'll do a lot of good work. So that's what we're working on. Hopefully, I know it's hard to tell with just a camera, big picture what's going on, but I'm trying to do that. If you have any ideas for how to show that better, I'm all ears. All right, so for the kids, today's we're gonna do a bit of a gun safety lesson. I grew up with guns, and my dad did an awesome job of teaching us gun safety. These kids haven't had much of that yet because the whole time they've been really little, we lived in the Bay Area, and I didn't even bother having a gun in the house. I left my gun at my parents' house that whole time. But now it's time to talk to them about gun safety. So the one thing that they've known for a long time is that guns are very serious tools. They are not toys. They are dangerous. And so under no circumstances should they ever play with a gun. And my dad went as far as, when we were kids, we didn't get to play with guns. We didn't have toy guns. We didn't even point our fingers like they were guns, because you don't point a gun at a person. And so that's a rule I still carry forward. And now that we're moving out to the country, guns are going to be a part of what we have, both for protection and for hunting and for slaughtering larger animals. Like a pig, we would need a gun. So it's time to talk about them. So what I have here is my 12 gauge that I've had since I was a teenager. And so rule number one, guys, this gun doesn't have anything that it can shoot in it right now. It doesn't have any shells or what you'd think of as a bullet. But I'm never, ever, ever going to point this at a person. Whether there's bullets in it or not, we will never point this at somebody, okay?
Yeah.
And if you're around someone and they're waving this around and it accidentally points at you, tell them to stop and get out of there right away, okay? Okay, so to check that this gun does not have any bullets in it, I push this little button.
That's scary.
And open it up and make sure there's nothing in there. I can look, and I can also cycle this multiple times, because if there was bullets in there, this action would be shooting them out, sending them out. Okay? So, other features, we have a safety right here on the top. Red means it's ready to shoot. Black means I can't shoot it. And how does the safety work? I can't physically pull the trigger right now when the safety is on, and when the safety is off, the trigger can shoot. Okay, and this is a pump weapon, which means when you shoot it, you have to pump it to move the next shell in. Okay? Alright, safety's back on, and I am going to safely put a couple of shells in, okay? These are shotgun shells. This is what they look like. Okay. So I will put 3 in.
How many can it hold? A lot?
It should legally only hold 3. You can modify it to hold more, but this only holds 3. So I put it in here and I push forward. And I put it in here and I push forward. And if this is set up correctly, I can't put this third one in. See, it stops and it won't go all the way in, because that's 2 shells will fit right there. Now I'm going to cock the gun. One of the shells is going to go into the main area where it's ready to fire, and now there's room for the third shell to go in. And remember, most important is I'm never, never, never pointing this at anybody. I'm pointing it in a safe direction. My hand has never been on the trigger, and the safety's been on the whole time. Okay? Now, we're going to put on our hearing protection, and I'm going to shoot it.
Oh, I put my hearing protection.
Where's yours? Okay. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Stay put.
I keep it safely on my shoulder because it's going to punch me, okay?
That's loud, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, James. Daddy hasn't talked to you about that.
Alright.
They
So
might be
now,
hot.
I know the gun is empty, but I'm still going to follow all the rules we talked about. It's not pointing at anyone. The safety is going to stay on, and we're going to treat it like it's still dangerous, okay?
And James, you don't
And
touch
the last thing I can do is I can double check that it's empty. There's nothing in there. It's empty. And now, since we're not hunting or doing anything else, I'm just gonna put it away right away, okay?
And those are the smoking mats. And then later we'll do some more of that. Probably not.
All right, that's our gun safety topic.
Yeah.
Thanks to my dad for being a good gun safety teacher when I was a kid. We'll keep the gun in a safe place, but when I grew up, by the time we were mature kids, we knew where the guns were and they weren't locked up, even though I know that's what you're supposed to do these days, but it was never a problem because we knew they were serious business, we knew what they were for, and we never even thought about going and playing with them like they were toys because we knew they weren't toys.
We'll always keep them locked up.
Yep.